Hello, folks, and how are you all doing? And welcome to my thoughts on a comic book. And today's comic book is Justice Machine by The Comic Company. That's cute. There's the back of the robots. So, before I get into this, I just have to say this superhero's costume, this guy, the one with the blue here, his name's Titan, amuses me greatly. It's just, I know superheroes' costumes are oftentimes, very colorful, creative, all that. And sometimes you look and you think, how the hell is that practical in battle? But not understandable. But still, this guy's costume looks like, it looks like they were making it for him. And they made it and they're like, oh shit, we don't have enough fabric to finish it. Like to get to the white. Shit, we don't have enough fabric. And they were like, okay, let's just leave it like that. Tell him that's how it's supposed to be. I know he's a superhero. It doesn't really matter, but just kind of like I wonder how it holds. It's just it's not connected anywhere up. And then what is the white part for? Then I mean, I don't know. I'm greatly amused at why. I just have the need to complete it. I know oftentimes they're, not always complete, especially when it's for women, latex, they leave cleavage, but, it's holding something. It's in the back and everything, and here it's like nothing, it's holding nothing. But again, it just amuses me. Doesn't make him any less cool, it's just, what is it connected to? Okay, enough with the foolery. All right, so the Justice Machine. I think it's originally created by by Mike Gustovich. In this particular, it's called the Runner series. Was created with him and Tony Isabella, but don't take my word for it. I'm not sure. It looks like this company is not the company. The comic, from what I can read inside, seemed to have been made in the late 80s, which is awesome. I've never held a comic that was made in the late 80s. I think it is because it's as you can see, it's tarted and it's very old looking. I'm afraid that I'm ruining it every second I'm holding it in my fingers. So it's, scratched and it's got some tears inside it as well. It also smells. You know how you go to a bookstore or to an antique shop and the smell there, that's the smell this comic book has. Which I love because I love the smell of old books and not the smell of old comic books. And okay, so this is a story about I think it's in another planet, at least by the looks of technology, and also in this mission here they do go to Earth. So I'm assuming. So they are in. So this is another planet. There's a government. There's always a government, and these guys are a special force of the government. We have in here. Let's see. That's Titan, the guy in the blue. That's Titan. That's Diviner. I am afraid to hold this. That's Demon. I think that's Challenger. That is Talisman, and that is Blazer. They're the team. Now, Titan, well, from the name. He Now Demon can fight very well. She has sonar powers. He is the team leader and seems to be very capable with weapons. And Blazer has firepower. A lot of it. She needs the suit. I gotta say, this is the first time I remember so much just from one read about a group I never heard of. Yes, so they are the Force, and then this comic book, they're chasing They're chasing a guy who's called wait, what was his name? Maxinor here. Yes. Where is his name? Yes, they're chasing Maxinor. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Hey, where is it? Yes, so Maxinor. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And this is the Heroes and Villains. I think that's the name of this one. Oh, here it is. Yes, Mike Gustovich and Tony Isabella. They are. Oh, that's nice. And I didn't notice where it was written. I thought it didn't appear anywhere. My bad. I'll write it down below. So they created this. So yes, they're the creators. Now this was a really interesting thing to read because it has narration inside. You get information about the characters inside and narrations, like the people who wrote this are talking to you as you read along. Like in the beginning, they tell you, don't jump too quickly into conclusions, which was so interesting. I haven't come across that yet. And the art in here is also very interesting. And look at the pages. You see, they seem to have a different quality. I mean, the newer comic books I have, I'm talking about this like I understand shit. It seemed to be different, a lot more shinier and perhaps thinner. And these don't. They seem to have a different quality. And this is also a much different style of art from what I've seen. And it has numbering. The pages have numbers. That was so handy. I'm always in comic books. I'm doing like this because I'm not sure if I got to the next page or not. If it's the right one. And here you don't even have to think about it. It has numbers. They're very small. I can't see them on this camera. But yes, so numbers and style. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. And there they are. And all this information about the characters. All these things you learn as you go along. Just in this one, I learned so much about them. Just in one comic. The style, and the story is very interesting. I didn't think it would be that gripping. I mean, from the beginning, but it actually is. I am genuinely curious. We'll look at the commercial inside. I love the commercials from older comics that I've seen. They're much more amusing. Here they are. Oh, that's Johnny Quest. Oh, I've seen it on the comic, co- like, the comic book carpet of Castle Hills. And if you know him, he has an awesome channel. He showed this. I really gotta look that up more. And look at the costumes. I love his costume. Well, it's purple. I'm biased, but still, look at that. It has to be a different planet. Who would dress like this on Earth? At least, not that I know of. But here they are. Yes, so the art and the story, and surprisingly, in this case, I will actually get to know what happens next because I have the second part, which doesn't happen usually in the specs I buy. There's random things. In this case, I have the second and the first and second part. And look at those views. That is so awesome. And yeah, and the pages are in the. So anyway, this was indeed really interesting. I do wonder if it really is something from the 80s. Look at this stuff. This is awesome. I gotta stop touching it because I'm afraid I'll ruin it. Also, the cover and the color platter. Everything seems to be more. But anyway, this was really an interesting thing to go through. The narration, the artwork, the well, the numbers also, the characters. It's amazing how much I've learned just in this thing about all of them. I can say a lot more about them than I can say about a lot of mainstream comic book heroes that I've been hearing about for years, which is the amazing part. Now, I wonder what came before this one. Not sure. Oh yeah, so wait, I didn't talk about the story. Right, I didn't talk about the story. So in the story, they are sent to get Maxinor. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He is a traitor to their government, to their world, and they are sent to catch him. And now at first they don't succeed, and then they are sent to Earth because that's where he runs away to. But they're out to get him, but nothing as it seems. Well, usually in stories, governments are evil, so that makes sense. That makes sense. So apparently, the team are starting to ask too many questions to the government's liking, so they are going to terminate them in the next issue, presumably. So yes, they're going to terminate them, and they only find out later. And one of these is a patriot. Is a patriot. This one, Titan. That's gonna be a slap in the face, won't it? Well, if you can get to him, I mean, he's a big guy. He's a really big guy. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. These were my thoughts on this one. It was awesome. I can't wait to start the second one tomorrow, just to see how this continues. Nah, I'm probably not gonna find the rest. At least not. Maybe I'll find more parts if I buy those packs. But anyway, this was awesome. If you know any more about this, let me know. This is really interesting. So that is it. Till next time. Bye.